Number one, and one thing that I love the most out of everything. A no is always better than a yes. Always. You should hear 5 no's to hear a yes. And if you're comfortable and looking forward to the no, I promise you the yes will come. Many people here get too stuck up and too tight on that one yes that needs to come, and they stay on it. You've got a deal for 150,000 dirhams, you stay on it for a month to hear a yes. But it's never working out, it's not working out that well. Why are you so stuck up on that? Always have the mentality that you hear more no's than a yes. Count your losings, not your winnings. It's a bit cringe, but it's actually something that can help you guys, right? This way you can approach more, get more projections, hence resulting in more, right? So, top 5 sales. Number 1, no are better than a yes. Do you guys agree? Yeah? Guys, have you had your coffee?
Yes. I don't drink coffee.
Alright, so come stand on this side if they can, sir. Is the voice gonna be okay? Is that agreed on? A bit more energy, guys.
Yeah.
We're not class. We're not sitting in a classroom, and I don't.
5 cents right here.
No.
I said energy, not foolishness, right? Alright. Number 2, certainty and emotions. I am a very emotional person, even when it comes to work, right? So my emotions speak certainty. Noor, please wait outside.
Late.
I'm just kidding.
The worst teacher
If you didn't spend time getting fucking Starbucks in the morning.
So many trucks. Trucks. Wallah. So many trucks. It's this wall. You're late. Out. This where?
Certainty and uncertainty.
No, there is no uncertainty. There is certainty. In your emotions, when you're speaking to a client, you need to be certain, right? So, let's say you have a scale of certainty, right? Z is a scale of absolute certainty. You're fully certain. If you're in an absolute certainty phase or situation and you go and sit in front of a client, you can make them feel comfortable about what they're buying into.
But I have a question. When, for example, it has happened to me, I've gone to a meeting, okay? I personally do not believe that the influencer will bring out good results, okay? But I mean, he's asking for it, okay? Or he wants it, and he keeps sending me, hey, is this gonna give me good results? Is this gonna be the ROI, the footfall I want? And I'm not certain, but I have to say yes. You know what I mean? So
No, you don't have that's where you're mistaken. That's where you're wrong.
I know, but for example, I had that situation, remember, with, I don't want to name it now, but
Okay.
exactly, and they wanted that specifically, and I had no one, but I had only her, you know what I mean?
But that's not true. You should have had an alternative.
I suggested
When
they chose her, and they were
when
like,
you go to a client and you tell them, listen, I don't recommend her for you. I don't think she's the right fit for you. I am not here to take your money only. I'm here to give you results so you can become a retaining customer and come back to me, this will give them so much trust and make them feel so good about themselves that if they don't purchase from you on the dot, they will in a week's time. Because the other salesperson isn't talking to them like that. And I'm sure you'll always find an alternative to anything to sell. There's not one thing that doesn't have an alternative.
Yeah, but then okay, I'll be honest. Also, not every single influencer that we work with actually does have results. Do you know what I mean?
So
Like,
there we
it's
go.
very
So
few.
that's
It's
how
not
you
very
that's how you differentiate between ROI and brand awareness.
Majority want ROI.
So you give the ones that provide an ROI. There's not many that have ROI.
Yeah, exactly.
So demand is high, supply is low. Therefore, your price curve is right. And that's how we're making money. Makes sense? It's simple. It's nothing difficult. So next time, if you're not certain, don't. Because your opposition wants you to be certain about what you're doing. If you're uncertain about the person, but you're certain that it will not give results, then you're certain. So go and
Sometimes they don't have the budget. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
And I guess 10,000
Okay.
dirhams and you
So
want
okay,
like-
so if a client doesn't have a budget and they have 3,000 dirhams, I say don't. You're better off not taking that and saving your dignity. If a client doesn't have a budget and they want to spend 15,000 and they're stubborn to spend on that person, then have this mentality in your head that you take it from them once, bye-bye, you'll never see them again. In any case, there's no brand on earth that does a collaboration or an advertising in any space whatsoever one time and gets results. The key to advertising is consistency. You cannot, and if people don't understand this, and people don't understand that they have to spend X amount of money in order to get results, they'll never be successful. And this is why we're here to try to educate, to try to teach, to show different stuff, to show that's why we're here. Right, so scale of A to Z, you're in a 100% absolute certainty phase. What you're selling sells. If you're not, then you're selling absolute crap. Crap? Amazing. Or whatever you want to name something that's really good. ROI. Whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I have a theory called alright, let's talk about two different things and then I'll talk lastly about my theory. So the third thing is to influence or to persuade. And that's important in sales. Right? You have to try to go ahead and influence or persuade the other person in order to buy into something. If you don't do that, then they're not going to buy into it. Unless you have a product that's such in high demand, even in those cases, when you want to go ahead and persuade them to go on a longer term contract. For instance, Mariam Elias. She's an individual that's in very high demand. She's well known, demand is high, supply is low because time is limited. If we had 60 days in a month, beautiful, right? But we only have 30 days in a month, and the best I can do is fit in 2 campaigns in a day, and I need to make sure that the businesses don't conflict with each other within a 7-day gap. Do you get what I'm saying? So I can't book a medical center today and then book another medical center in 3 days' time because it just doesn't make sense. I have to give a gap. So her demand is high, supply is low. When somebody comes to me, my first attitude could potentially be that, listen, take it or leave it. Right? But it's not like that. And that's what's made me upscale and increase Mariam's sales by bringing in contracts, bringing in longer term commitments for the same clients towards Mariam. So I'm persuading or influencing in my own way. Right? Cool. Influence plus persuade. Fourth thing, always remember, every fucking sale is the fucking same. It's not different. No matter what you're selling, it's not different. It isn't. If you control the game, there is no difference in what you're selling and how you're selling it. Every sale is the same. No matter people, you know what happens? People get so panicked, they get so anxiety attacks because they're gonna go and meet Majid Al Fateh. Because they're gonna go meet this big company, that big company, this big cinema, that big brand. Don't be scared. One of my very, very old mentors, his name was Kevin. He told me that no matter who you're speaking to or who you're meeting, you both take a shit in the same toilet, in the same place. There is no difference. So every sale is the same. No matter you're sitting in front of the vice president or the president of a multi-billion-dollar company, or you're sitting in front of a startup that just started, it's how you control it. So once you start believing in that, you'll be more confident in front of a client, and therefore it will link back to your certainty level, link back to you persuading, link back to you having the thought that if I hear no, fuck it, I'll move on. Yeah? And then all of this will link back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the triangle and the 8 pillars of success and blah, blah, blah. They're all connected to each other. Yeah? Last thing. So fourth is control, and every sale is the same. Is this clear? I'm gonna go to my last one, right? Let's talk about the theory that I want to talk about, right? It's nothing I created. Again, these are all available. I just read and watch a lot. Instead of listening to the radio every morning, I listen to different stuff, different people talking about success, etc., right? So, there's a thing called the water line theory. Okay? So this is the water line. I'm not the best artist in the world, so that's the water. That's beneath the water. That's above the water. Okay? So above the water you have success. Right? You breathe. You're living. Huh? I mean, you guys can focus on everything, but that's fine, right? Okay. Success. Is that correct? Happy? Cool. What's success? Success is a yes. No. No. I love how he thinks he can just talk. Over here. All right, let's imagine you're on the phone with a client for 30 minutes. All right? What's up? All right. Let's imagine you're on the phone with a client for 30 minutes, right? So you're talking to the client and you're going like, okay, let's talk. Okay, you're trying to persuade the client. You're hearing, right? Until you reach the line. You're talking to persuade to sell something. You start the sale here. You're talking, you're selling. You're persuading, you're influencing. And you're reaching here. You're on the tip, waiting to hear that yes. Okay? Right? In this period here, the client is only uncertain. Right? They've been saying yes to you all this time because they've been talking to you for 30 minutes. They just haven't said it, but it's almost a yes. They've been uncertain. As soon as you transfer that certainty from yourself to them, you pass this level and you get a yes. If you always have this mentality in your mind that before that you're under the water and you can't breathe and you're going to die, and how you increase your momentum with the client, whether you're sitting in front of them and talking to them, or you're over the phone, or it's coming through a connection, or you're whatever, doesn't matter. And you follow this theory, I promise you, your success rate and percentage of success will increase. Today you're at 30, it will go up to 40. Today if someone's at 80, it will go up to 90. Have this mentality in mind. When you're sitting in front of the client, think about the waterline math he taught you. Think about it. You're sitting in a meeting, I swear to God, please think that you're underneath the water and you have either the 7 minutes or 7 minutes rule, or you have the 30 minutes. Guys, shut that please. Right? Is that cool? Any questions? No?
Actually,
What's up?
this water theory, also, if the client is uncertain and you're under the water and he's still like, fully like talking and he's still uncertain, you just are allowed also to let it go and keep on going up.
You drown. You let it go, you drown. It comes back to the finite and infinite theory. Were you here for it? No. Okay, so what's an infinite player? They die, they revive, they go back. Correct? It's all linked together. Yes, you need to let go. You don't, yes, you need to, yes, again, you hear more no's than a yes, it's better for you, good. It's fine. Don't get too stuck there. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't be here for 30 days. Just don't. Doesn't make sense.
So this is about closing.
Yes.
Closing.
Of course. No, I'm teaching you how to swim. It's about closing. Don't stay here for just doesn't matter you close with a yes or a no. Close. You need closures in life.
About like not prolonging processes and just like
That's the yes.
still happy.
That is the case. Don't prolong the process. Because some people, I go to them and I'm like, what happened to this client? Yeah, they're actually speaking to their management. Scratch it off. Let them go speak to their management. But don't include it on your list. Because honestly, an executive comes and talks to you in a very, very big company, and the fucking hierarchy is so big, the executive goes to the senior executive, goes to the manager, goes to the deputy manager, deputy head, supervisor, director of whatever. Then the director gives the go-ahead. This goes all the way fucking back down. Then this guy goes like, okay, now it's approved. Wait, I need to go and get a check approval for signatures. 300 signatures go back all the way up to the hierarchy to get you that. Process is what, 4 or 5 months to get 30,000 euros. Fuck that. It is the case. I was in a partnership with a company that were my partners. I owned majority of the company, but the bank accounts and everything was under my partner, right? I owned majority. I had control over my business and the decision making of my business. If Sina wanted a hard drive, and I wanted to get him a hard drive for 1,000 dirhams, I had to wait 15 days to get 10 different signatures and approvals so I can buy a fucking hard drive for my production team. One reason why I left, I'm happy today I have control. Right? Cool? It's fine, guys. So, that's what I'm trying to explain here.
How do you jump this?
You just make it shorter. Why do you want to jump it?
How do you make it short?
7-minute rule of meetings. Give it 3 shots. Persuasion. There's lots of fish in the sea. Be desperate. Huh?
Do you come to this point that you ask the client, okay, do you want it or you
Yes, of course.
When do you do that?
You do that when you've given it a gap that you think is reasonable, depending on the way the client is talking to you on that first instance. Depends how you feel that kind of a thing going with you. Yeah?
Actually, that works. When you tell the client that, they're like, are you gonna do it or not? Like, one time I got really frustrated and I was like, okay, so I've just finalized the schedule, so you guys are gonna have to wait some other time. Thank you so much for your time. And they're like, no, I'll wire you the money. I was just like, what the hell? Like, what?
That's it. It's. But that's only the case when you have 500 leads on the database, when you have so many meetings being set, when you have so many projections, and you don't care if one goes. Do you get what I'm saying? You have 12 eggs in the basket. You don't care if you give one to Mimi, one to Ilya, one to Erisa. You have 9 left. But if you have 3 eggs in the basket and you give 2 away, you're left with 1, you feel bad. Correct? It's the same theory. Is that clear and good? Right, so that's my top 5 things that I've always thought about before and after I go into a meeting. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? Live? No questions? Alright, cool. Thank you, Arta. We'll see you next time.